Hi, myself, I'm Ratna Bhushan. Welcome to ASGIS Current Affairs. The top, fast, great, and furious. Acting for East, India has ramified its energy diplomacy by being first mover in Russia's energy rich East. Acting for East, India has ramified its energy diplomacy by being a first mover in Russia's energy rich East. This article was written by Dharmender Pradhan. It is on 15th of September 2019 in Times of India. So, Prime Minister Narendra Modi met Russian President Vladimir Putin in Vladivostok on September 4th. The visit has its outcomes are peek into how foreign policy has transmitted in the past few years of Modi regime, affecting every sector and percolating affirmative into the common person's life. The highlight of the visit are the inroads made in Russia's far east regions and underdeveloped part of the country is brimming with the natural resources like oil and gas, diamonds, gold, coal, and other vital polymetals, and 49 MOUs were signed between the Russia's and India, public, private, and players during PM's visit. India and Russia have had a special privileged and strategic partnership, but the region in the recent days are steadily expanded into a non-traditional sphere. Before its Vladivostok sojourn, Modi sent two union ministers, including me, and four CMs to scout for investment and the trade opportunity in the country. Here is a snapshot of the why Russia is vital for us, especially as a trade partner. Russia is a global energy powerhouse. It is the largest holder of the hydrocarbon, and the largest exporter of gas in the world. India, on the other hand, is a heavy importer reliant of the crude oil and LNG. It is therefore imperative that we diversify our sources in the age of volatile geopolitics. Moreover, in moving towards a $5 trillion economy, the demand for the energy will only go up. Russia has the potential to the natural and stable partner of fulfilling the needs of the aspirational people while also benefiting from the partnership. Our strategy has been twofold: one, to increase Indian asset in the region, and other enter into a stable country contract. Towards the first end, we have invested around $15 billion in Russian assets, including OVL's investment in the Sakhalin first and Vancouver Neft that have been one of the best investment to date. For achieving the second objective, Indian companies are now entering into the long-term crude contracts with Russian partner first, and GAIL entered into a contract with the Gazprom the purchase of 2.5 MMTPA gas. Russia is looking to increase LNG exports, signing an agreement with the government for the increased use of LNG as a transport fuel, which include the preparations and the evaluation of the readiness and vehicles, information exchange, developing city gas distribution networks, and so forth. The Russian government is taking several steps that will work to our advantage to increase the viability of the exports of the hydrocarbons, including through the development of the North Sea route, development of the port infrastructure, and the development of an incentive-based tax regime which will encourage companies to invest their asset in the Arctic. On the other hand, Russia is the largest investor in India's oil and gas sector, which Rosneft left consortium investment $12.9 billion in 2017. Additionally, for the first time, we found significant changes opening in the source of the metallurgical coal, which is not produced in the significant quantities in India, but majority fuels into steel industry from the Russian Far East. Non-binding MOUs between NMDSAL with the Russian Far East mining country that provide for the long-term contracts for the sourcing, exporting, and extracting metallurgical and resources coal from the region. And that time, and the training exports and the joint development of the future technology have been exchanged. Owing to the PM's visionary diplomacy, India has a partaken of the first mover advantage in the Far East. The government has extended $1 billion line of credit to the region, primarily an enabling clause to the help our business people stop at the place which lacks infrastructure but is vitally rich in the trade potential. This will be a tool for the government to handhold its own commercial interest in the region. Modi's Institute Diplomacy, 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 Modi's Modi's attitude diplomacy. Modi's attitude diplomacy has resulted in the pragmatic shift in the India's standing in the diplomatic negotiation. It is indeed a matter of pride for us that while we have evaluated the Soviet model of 5-year plan, that today the Russians want to come to India to understand our city gas distribution network and its implementation strategy. So also for the Ujjwala scheme, where the Latin American, African, and now our neighboring governments have sent delegations to understand how the scheme was implemented, how moreover, because of our diversification of crude procurement, consumer countries now have a voice in forums like OPEC, which have traditionally been produced, dominated. Thank you so much to watch my program. Please do share, subscribe, and like.